You are welcome to another edition of podcast where we talk about finances. My name is Olutayo Olalekan Alex, and don't forget that we have been talking about common mistakes people make in handling money, and today we'll be concluding the aspect of these great conversation. And last edition we had our able person, eloquent person, Mr. Olutayo Okoyemi, and today I can tell you we have another beautiful person in building, and that is my I call him doctor. He's actually doctor, not medical doctor, but academic doctor. Doctor, you're welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on the call
Please,
today.
can you just introduce yourself?
All right, it's nice to meet you, everyone. My name is Faromi. People call me Dr. Faromi most of the time. It's always wonderful talking on this podcast. I believe that you've gained a lot from following this podcast. Stay glued to us. Thank you for watching us.
So that's doctor for you, and you can see that. So he's the one that is going to conclude this topic and common mistake people make in handling money. And doctor, and I think you have a lot of things to say. So we're going to we'll be dubbing down to 3 points from him, and we're going to conclude the program. So doctor, so common mistakes. So I think you have been following the trend of where we started from the middle, and you are here to help us to conclude it. And people just want to see how we want to land this conversation. Please, doctor, over to you now.
Thank you so much once again for having me on the show today. When it comes about money, money matter is everybody's matter. And I'm certain that it's not something we can overemphasize because it borders on every other aspect of our lives. And yes, the same way we can make mistake in every other aspect of our life, we can make mistake about money. And I'm sure that you've said a lot in the first episode as I was following with the details of what Okpe, your last guest, shared on the call. But I'm just going to build on the foundation he had already laid and to share a couple of things I know that people uh, people overlook when it
Yeah.
comes to money mistake. One of it is lifestyle. Like sometimes your lifestyle is a simple sign that you are making money mistake. Um, we are most time conscious that people are looking at us, you're watching you, so you want to live your life to please or satisfy the perception of people about yourself. And in the midst of it, you overshoot what you are supposed to be doing just to keep up with the expectation that people placed on you and by the means of how you live your life. So you can make a mistake by the way you choose to live your life. And then you realize that there's no amount of money you are making, even if you are hustling, whether up or you're hustling sideways or however you choose to hustle, you
Mhm.
understand that your money will not be enough for you if your lifestyle is above the income that is
Oh yeah,
coming to
that's
you.
true. That's true.
So it's one of the major mistakes that an average person makes. You want to appear rich, you want to look rich, you want to show rich, you want to prove rich. Meanwhile,
Hmm.
the bank account is not matching up with the
Hmm.
vibes. So
That's big.
it's one of the money mistake that people make. I think one other thing is we always, maybe because of our faith in God and because we believe that, oh yes, God owns everything and all, we don't plan for emergencies. We most times
Mm.
pray, may we
Mm.
not see emergencies, may we
Mm.
not meet emergencies. But it's a money mistake for you not to have a contingent plan. uh, no matter how much of comfort you find yourself, at least you must have. I always advise around at least 10 to 20% of your income to be for emergency fund.
Emergency. Mm.
You may not need it. These are funds that it's not. This is not savings. I'm not talking about savings.
Mm.
Savings go somewhere, but this is an emergency fund. That even if you don't have to go and put it where it's going to be increasing or you'll be adding interest or thereabout, that you'll not be able to have access to it, except there are some like financial packages now from different offerings that allows you to ultimately earn on whatever amount you are
Sure.
keeping
Sure.
in
Yeah.
your bank account. But emergency funds are funds that you must have very close to you. You can access at any point in time without any forms of delay or barrier. if you don't have that, you're already making a money mistake.
Mm.
It's There is no two way to it. Yes, nobody prays for emergency, but it happens. And when it happens, you don't want to be in a place where you are not able to meet the obligations. And it might not even be about health, it might not even be about death. Just imagine that, God forbid, somebody got robbed overnight of your
Mm.
gadgets,
Mm.
and you are a remote worker freelancers that all your Go Premium account is on your
I
gadget,
got you, yes.
your all the tax we were giving Upwork and all of those things, they are on this gadget. You don't have any emergency fund to quickly at least recover, even if it is your phone, and install Go Premium and write and tell that my
Make
gadget
it,
has
make
been
it, it,
stolen. Please
yes.
help me suspend or freeze my account pending that time, and all of those things. So emergencies can come in different formats. It does not necessarily have to be by health. It does not necessarily have to be by accident. But not having an emergency fund also is one financial mistake that majority of people have, that they don't really know that they have. So I think I've spoken about lifestyle. I've
So,
spoken about emergency
yeah,
funds.
that's true, Doctor. Thank you. Sorry, before you proceed, I want to ask. So, and I think people may have this kind of question in their mind. So, how do you think emergency money should be spent?
It's emergency for a reason. I believe that it should be spent only in emergency scenario. And what I said now is, I try to define that emergency can come in various forms. Sometimes it could be health scare, health risk. It could be for loved ones. It could be for unforeseen circumstances that just
Circumstances.
happen suddenly, and you know that you have an obligation to meet. God forbid somebody can be called to say, oh, your mom fell ill and she's been taken to a hospital, and they are waiting uh for you or something.
Yeah.
Those are
Mm.
emergencies. So if we target an emergency fund, it should stay as an emergency fund. Well, there is a threshold that possibly one want to keep. Like if you have a target to say, oh, maybe if I have like a 1 million naira, it should be okay for me for emergency fund. So you keep contributing it, the money into the account you chose to use for emergency funds, and once you reach that amount, you can cut it off and maybe use the rest for savings, because you don't want to also tie money down and it's not
And
bringing more money in for you. So you just ensure that it's enough to take care of whatever emergencies in the reality. Just ensure that it meets the current reality. So, but it should be spent emergency.
that's great. That's great. So let's laugh a little bit. So there's this trend that normally goes in Nigeria that everything that has to do with money, especially spending, is emergency in Nigeria. Is that true? Like
Uh,
everything in this country, literally
well, the
emergency.
culture of the country is actually in haste. Everyone, maybe because we are so used with the situation of things that surround us and some of the challenges that plagued us as a nation. So I feel that everybody does things very quickly, very fast. So even things that is not supposed to be considered an emergency looked
Mm,
emergency to us.
that's the
But
word.
the truth of the matter is, emergency, when it happens, everybody knows it's an emergency. For
Mm,
example, an accident situation is a proper emergency. A situation where you lose your job suddenly today, and you have to survive for the next couple of months before you are able to land another job. It's an emergency. Without a fund to sustain you,
mm,
you don't have a backup plan. So we can't say everything is an emergency
emergency.
by the
Yeah.
way we feel or the way we do things. Naturally, I'm somebody that like to attend to tasks as fast as they come to close them out, but it doesn't make them urgent. Sometimes I have to distinguish between when I needed to put the task down and attend to some other things
Mm,
that is equally important. But emergency should be something that is unforeseen, is unplanned for, it's not prepared for, and it just suddenly happened and we have no choice than to attend to it.
mm. So because I think many people do mix it together that you just when it's emergency you are broke. Let me use the word broke. You are broke and
Be
you are
broke is might not be emergency.
so brokenness is not emergency. So I feel progress. In fact, that was why I asked the question. You know, many people say, "Oh, because I don't have anything, let me just go and put my hand into my emergency savings you get," and before you know, we cannot really differentiate between the two. And where do you think emergency money should be kept?
Uh, Anywhere that is easily reachable.
Mm,
It could be bank, if you know you can easily reach it in bank. It could be it could be it should be liquid. It
mm,
should not be like an investment. You can't call something your emergency fund and then you
yeah,
go
no,
to buy gold and keep like an investment. It's not advisable, right? How do they Are the financial experts? I'm not too sure. They always have this view that you must be able to have like 6 months of your salary saved somewhere as an emergency
as
funds. What
emergency.
that means is, should you lose your job or anything happens to you now, at
Let's
least
say
for the next 6 months, you have
something to
finances that
fall
might be
back.
able to hold you together, your basic needs together for those number of months. So those can be called emergencies. So emergency funds should be kept close, not far from one another. It should not be kept in form of an investment or
Yes.
thereabouts, but it's something that you can easily reach, whether it's in your bank, whether you want to use that to be under your pillow or however you choose to keep it,
Keep
but
it.
make sure it is liquid and it is easily reachable.
And you are disciplined about it. So before we go further, and I just want to say that if you have any question, you can drop it on the comment section so we attend to your questions. Don't worry. So and don't forget that this program is proudly sponsored by GoFree and Go Premium. So we're going to move to the concluding aspect. So I think the guests they have one point to tell us before we call it a day on this edition.
Okay,
So
some other thing I think is very important that I'm sure that you and I might be guilty about it is financial record. Do you record your expenses and income as you spend them on daily basis? I say bread today.
in fact, I won't lie to you, but I think many people use their mind.
Oh, mine is not. Whatever you did not write down, we can't call it a record. To be honest with you, so I think now not keeping financial record is one major mistake that majority of us make. And
But doctor, does it not stand where that you buy bread today, you keep it, I spend 100 naira on bread, I buy this,
no, okay, I understand. So it might not necessarily be that as you are spending money, you actually begin to note them in that manner. Let's assume it's more or less like saying you want to do budgeting for the month. Let's say my salary at the moment is 200,000, and I decide to say, oh, from this 200,000, that is my basic salary, right? Hypothetically, I'm speaking hypothetically
yes,
now. Say, oh, I mark 100,000 for food
food, yeah,
consumption for both myself and my family and all of those things. And then let's say I'm going to keep like 20,000 for transportation. I'm going to keep like let's say 20,000 for data, which is very important. I'm going to say, oh, okay, I'm going to be saving 50,000, or maybe I'm saving 30,000 thereabout. Let's say other obligations of finances that I needed to make or thereabout. For some people, they want to pay
oh
tithes.
yeah.
Some people they want to send money to family and loved ones. That's it's another point I may want to talk about anyway. But for now, those are obligations. So when you have a budget, like this is how you want to spend the money. So the fact that you bought bread today or milk tomorrow
Tomorrow,
does not
yeah,
matter. But once you exit that budget, that means that you've already eaten into your record or
budget.
into your budget. So doing budgeting and keeping record, they go hand in
Mm,
hand. So the financial record in this case is you have a budget for consumption, you have a budget for transportation, you have the budget for savings, you have the budget for emergency funds and all of those things. So you just know at every point in time that you need to keep record. For example, you want to for food, you have bought food for the rest of the month, you will know how much is remaining from the rest of the funds
oh
for
yes.
food. So once you overshoot that budget by keeping in mind that this is how much I have next. By the time you start calculating how much you spend afterwards, you will know that you've overshot the budget. So record is very important. So we can't literally say we are doing it with our mind when there are lots of things that pull our attention. For example, you might not plan for it. You're going on the road and somebody come to ask for hands from you.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say because you have budgeted every of your finances for the month, you will
I
not
saw
be able
you.
to help, right? That money is coming from somewhere. It's not your budget, it has to be somewhere. that it's coming from. So not knowing or not keeping records of how much you are spending is not really a very good financial behavior, right? So it's important for us to know that keeping records is also very good. It's if you are not doing it, it might be a money mistake, so to say. So we must have a budget. For the end of the month, I'm going to have the budget of maybe 300,000 to do everything I needed to do, and you stick to it, right? That's very important. I was mentioning a point the other time about maybe sending money
The money,
home or
yeah.
something. Though they have a tagline for it now, they call it black tax, but I don't like the idea that it's called black tax because um why they call it black tax, it looks insulting to be like as if we are just taxing
Taxing
ourselves. We live
ourselves.
as a community in
Yeah.
the in this black side of the world in quote, and it has its own advantages. You get some forms of support from loved ones, family,
Mm.
that you naturally are not purchasing. For example, some of us we have freedom um to have the service of friends, loved ones. They take care of your children when you are not available.
That's true.
Sometimes they share things they
Their
have
resources
with
with
you.
you,
It's
yeah.
time for Christmas. Some people will
Mm-hmm.
come to your house and drop gifts, drop live chicken, drop as much as
That's
possible.
all,
So
yeah.
all these things you're not paying for it. Yeah. If you had to pay for it like every advanced world does it, you will know it's not going to be called black
Black
gifts.
give,
Now we are calling it black
black tax.
tax. I don't think it's actually right to call it black tax, but well, this is what it's called in the world of today anyway. But yes, this could also mean some forms of financial mistake if you are overgiving, right? You still need to do, yes,
But
because community has
mm,
its own advantages
yeah.
and giving back to the community one way or another, but you must know your limits, you must know your threshold. That's why budgeting is also very important. You know that every month I want to mark maybe
Mm,
30,000 naira to give to everyone that I'm close to. It's not compulsory. You do everybody every month. You could do maybe for Lagbaja and Tamedu today. Next month is going to be like
mm,
something like that. You can have something like that. So overgiving is what I will call it. They call it black tax, but I will say overgiving. So you must know your limit in having to help others so that you don't help others until you need help yourself.
yeah, yeah. That's great. That's wonderful from Doctor. It's nice having you. And like I said, if you have any question, you can just drop it on the comment section. Definitely, we're going to answer your questions. Thank you for being part of this show. And like I said, this program is proudly sponsored by Go Free and Go Premium. And Go Free, like the doctor was trying to say, that you can save your money. You can download apps. So Go Free is an app you use to download. I mean, you use for receiving payment. You understand? I mean, Go Premium. And so if you want more inquiry about the products, Go Free and Go Premier, just drop in the comment section. So we don't want to take you off your time. So Doctor, can you just say goodbye to the audience?
All right. Thank you so much for listening and in today and listening to some of the things we had to share with you. I believe that you following this podcast will continue to enrich your financial decisions and education. Try as much as possible not to make too many mistakes in your finances because this is how you build wealth. And I want to thank Go Premium and Go Free for inviting me to the show. Also, you can try the products. You can save on the products. You can do so many other beautiful things. You want to send money to family, loved ones, you can do on the product at the same time. Thank you. See you next time.
So we don't say goodbye. See you next time. I still remain your host, Olutayo Alex.